Top 10 books Bill Gates thinks everyone should read. It's easy to think that rich people were born smart and always had the skills in handling money. However, that's not always the case. For some of your favorite CEOs, they had to work from the very bottom just to build the empire that they have today. In fact, most of them went out of their way to read dozens and dozens and dozens of books just so they can teach themselves what's not being taught in school. And that is exactly what we have for you today. Welcome back to Independent Luxury, where we give you a peek of the luxurious life you wish to live. In today's video, we have a list of 10 books we should read according to Bill Gates. Without further ado, number 10, Life is What You Make It by Peter Buffett, 2010. In Life is What You Make It, Peter Buffett shares his wealth and understanding of how our values shape our choices and our choices shape our lives. He explains how the values of trust, tolerance, and education, coupled with experience and a work ethic driven by joy, shape a meaningful life, and why pursuing money or a plan devised by someone else leads to emptiness and dissatisfaction. Being the son of the world's third wealthiest man, Warren Buffett, you must be thinking that he had acquired all his wealth from his father. As much as that would be what's ideal, that is not the case. Peter's parents didn't want to endanger their kids' lives by giving them inherited wealth. They instead taught their children the virtues that made their lives richer than the worth of money. Although Peter received a tiny inheritance, it wasn't enough to prevent him from living by those principles and experiencing true joy. Number 9, The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert, 2014. In her book, The Sixth Extinction, Elizabeth Kolbert examines how humans interact with the environment and comes to the conclusion that human activity is about to trigger, or may have already triggered, the sixth mass extinction in Earth's history. Elizabeth Kolbert has made a name for herself as one of our top science journalists during the past 10 years. She has become a recognizable and persuasive conscience on matters resulting from the enormous attack on the environment. She presents an unchallengeable argument in her book that the actions we are taking to bring about a 6-month extinction are obviously incorrect. She also emphasizes that speeding the transition to a more sustainable world is essential to doing what is right. Bill suggests this book because it makes it simple to comprehend the type of impact humanity has on the environment. As a result, many chances will prevent themselves for people who are able to address some of these problems. Number 8, The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. While still residing in France in early 1925, Fitzgerald completed The Great Gatsby, which was then published by Scribner's in April of that same year. The American dream has primarily been viewed as a negative subject in The Great Gatsby. The elaborated symbolism that supports its narrative makes it memorable. For starters, the contrast between West Egg and East Egg in the book serves as a representation of the conflict between new money and old money, a civilization that chafed under the old euphemisms and is depicted as vulgar and brazen. West Egg is said to be full of people who have amassed wealth during an unprecedented period of materialism. Meanwhile, the steady nobility of America, who have inherited their money and disapprove of the roughness of West Egg, live in the elegant society of East Egg. The tone of the work as a whole makes it obvious that anyone can relate to it. Number 7, How to Lie with Statistics by Darrell Huff, 1954. The book by Darrell Huff explores the lengthy history of data manipulation. He describes the various ways that data may be used to distort the truth or convey a different story in politics, advertising, and other fields, as well as how to protect yourself from it. Interesting enough, Huff was actually a journalist who treated statistics in a humorous and understandable way rather than as a statistician. Number 6, Sapiens A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari, 2011. Israeli historian Yuval Noah Harari uses lessons from science and the humanities to answer the question of what it means to be human in grand narratives spanning 2.5 million years of human evolution. It is a well-written book and a wise investment because it joyfully navigates their progress while accurately explaining how each of them came to be. Number 5. The Box by Mark Levinson, 2006. This book was published by an economist who wanted to highlight the enormous effect that a straightforward concept has on global trade. From Newark to Houston in April 1956, a remodeled oil tanker transported 58 freight containers. From the humble beginnings, container shipping grew into a sizable business that enabled the surge in international trade. The box recounts the dramatic events surrounding the development of the container, the 10 years of struggle prior to its widespread adoption, and the far-reaching economic effects of the drastic decrease in transportation costs that containerization brought about. Who knew shipping containers would be so fascinating? Number 4. The Man Who Fed the World by Leon Hesser, 2006. An interesting part of history is what this book is. The biography of Dr. Norman Borlaug, recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize and National Hero of the United States, is titled The Man Who Fed the World. By devoting his life to eradicating world hunger and launching the Green Revolution, which enabled agriculture to advance to the point where it can feed the world, Borlaug saved over 1 billion lives. Number 3. Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua Foer. Joshua Foer's Moonwalking with Einstein, The Art and Physics of Remembering Everything, isn't your standard science tome. The author's journey to learn how to improve memory is the focus of this humorous yet nonetheless engaging story. And no, it has absolutely nothing to do with Albert Einstein. After reading the book, you ought to be able to perfect the technique for improving your memory. Joshua Foer is a science-focused freelance journalist and author, so it makes sense that his books lays out the facts rather than pleading with readers to better their memory. Number 2. The Rosie Project, a novel by Graham Simpson, 2013. The Rosie Project tells the story of a socially challenged genetic professor, Don Tillman, who decides to look for a wife, drawing up a scientifically valid questionnaire to assist his quest for the perfect woman. Tillman lectures on Asperger's without realizing that he displays its symptoms himself. In his use of language, difficulty in reading social signals and obsession with detail. Taking a risky, comedic approach on disability, the book was expected to leave a bad taste on the reader's mouth. But on the contrary, the book actually became a publishing phenomenon. Number 1. Business Adventures, 12 Classic Tales from the World of Wall Street, John Brooks, 1969. Of course, this list would not be complete without Bill Gates' favorite business book. In fact, according to the CEO, Business Adventures is the best book he had ever read. You might be wondering what the book is about. Well, Business Adventure is a collection of Brooks' New Yorker essays about why various companies succeeded or failed. Although written decades ago, the lessons learned are as applicable today as they were in 1969. For sure, it will be a great guide to achieving your financial goals. What about you guys? What is your favorite book and which of Bill Gates' recommendations do you think you read? Let us know down below. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and make sure to tune in for more videos like this. Again, this is Independent Luxury, where we give you a peek of the luxurious life you wish to live. See you next time!